We are back at Jason Kenney's headquarters for the elections. I'm joined by Jason Markusoff and Cormac Mac Sweeney, of course. Jason, let's just get your takeaway from tonight. Kenny seemed to be on brand, hitting home those same points he has since the campaign began.
He sent out three distinct messages. One, he's talking to Albertans, we're going to get back to work. Another one of warning, very stark warning to foreign-funded environmental groups or people who may block the pipeline. He really breathed fire to them. But he also had two rather lengthy segments that struck me as interesting, addressed to Aboriginals who we want to help develop their economies, develop their resources, and also to Quebecers. He spoke in French for a long time, urging his crew not to boo. Bear with me as I speak in French. This was a crew that was prone to booing for a lot of things, but he said, look, we want to work with you. Help us work with you. What's interesting was that he gave conciliatory messages to both Aboriginals and Quebec, premised on one thing: they support oil, they support pipelines.
So he's reaching out to those groups, but I mean, you also see that he's picking some fights and he's ready to go.
Yeah, I think he signaled today that his fight with BC and the threat to turn off the taps is real. We heard John Horgan earlier today say that he hopes that it's all just election rhetoric and that after the campaign is done that Jason Kenney will be a bit calmer, I guess, in this battle over pipelines. But he sent a signal today that that is not going to be the case. He talked about other governments, other provinces trying to block pipelines and hurt the oil and gas industry. And of course the carbon tax, addressing the fight with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and say he's not going to back down on that. So it looks like his first actions when he becomes premier, when that official swearing in happens, is going to be picking fights with two different governments that don't see eye to eye with him on developing our natural resources.
So how important do you think it is? He was reaching out to Indigenous groups and Quebecers, and he was also at the end talking to those who didn't vote for him. Do you think he's really trying, he's united the right, do you really think he's trying to unite the rest of this province?
I mean, every politician, after they win like this, says they're going to reach over to the other side. Doug Ford said that in Ontario. Heck, Donald Trump said that, but I don't think he's really held that true. We haven't heard exactly what sort of fig leaves and conciliatory measures he's willing to do, where he's willing to compromise. What we've heard is, if you guys are cool with our pipelines and our energy, we're cool with you. The reality is, in this complex country, a lot of people are not, and he has to figure out how to deal with them rather than just trying to crush them with an iron fist.
And that will be seen whether or not he is taking that battle too far or just the right tone. That's all from us right now at the UCP headquarters. We're going to find Courtney Theriault, who is at the Notley camp, which is a little bit more sober, I can imagine.